What's up, sisters? This is your boy, Beef, and welcome back to the channel for episode 6 of our weekly series showing off the best new mods for Baldur's Gate 3. This week, we have a bunch of new classes, some new and some from D&D 5th edition, and 2 mods we've been begging for since the release of patch 7. Before we get into it, thank you so much for watching. If you like these types of videos, let me know by leaving a comment down below, and if you want to see more, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Without further ado, let's get to the mods. We're going to be starting with the 2 mods that people have been asking for since, basically since patch 7 first dropped. And the first one that we have is Origin Mirror Unlocked by Yoon This mod opens up the magic mirror for cosmetic changes to the origin characters. So here I've got Gale, and we are going to go ahead and customize him. This is basically if enables us to change their appearance and play with custom companions. I don't know why he looks so gray right now, but let's go ahead and see. We can now go ahead and change him up however we want to. You can see here we can change his facial hair, and Gale now has this big funky beard instead of his little, stash. He's got glorious mutton chops now. We can get Gale with mutton chops. You can do pretty much whatever you want here. Would you believe this is Gale Decarios if I told you? Because it is. This is an awesome mod that I know a ton of people have been asking for so they can create their own companions to play with. This mod has a few prerequisites which can be downloaded in addition to this mod currently when you click on it. As you can see here, you can just kind of do whatever you want, and you can make Gale look like this. You can also just fully change up like everything about him if you want to. It's kind of crazy, kind of funny. Next, we have a mod that rebalances the game for those of you running expanded parties of more than 4 players. Tactician Enhanced is a mod that comes to us from Pixelbytes, the creator of the Expandable Party Limit mod. And these two go hand in hand. While the first mod enables you to explore Faerun with as many companions as you want, Tactician Enhanced increases the game difficulty beyond normal levels according to how many players you have in your party. If you have 6, combat can be rebalanced for 6. If you have 16, combat can be balanced for 16. You use a toggle in your hotbar to add the configuration spells, which will then add these into your spell book. You can see in here, if we go common, they're added to my cantrips and my class actions. And these spells allow us to check the current settings. For instance, where it pops up this menu here, we can see the different settings. Enemy hit points are increased by 0%. Enemies have 0 additional actions. Enemies have 0 additional bonus actions. So one of the things we can do here is we can view the setup. We can read all about how to use this, what the mod is compatible with. There's a whole bunch of information in here. There's even a next page if I wanted to keep reading. Button for uninstalling it. You can also go to this the different presets. And there is for higher party limits, easier preset for higher party limits, harder preset for higher party limits. You can see here they all have different difficulty scaling begins at 5 party members. Hit point scaling mode is decreasing scaling. First hit points increases 40%. Hit point. There's a lot of stuff here, and I could read through it all, but there's just like 12 party members plus 3 enemy actions as 16 party members. You can see it makes the game a lot more difficult by making the enemies a lot more difficult and a lot stronger. Only linear hit point scaling, only increasing hit. These are a bunch of different presets that are available. You can also customize it by modifying Tactician Enhanced core settings. You can switch between static and scaling modes. You can configure static mode, and you can configure the scaling mode. Right now, we're going to configure the scaling mode. Would you like to begin configuring scaling mode settings? I want to start at 5 party members. Sure. I want it to, so you can choose. You can create your own configuration here, which is really nice. I want to set it. No, I don't want enemies. Yes, I want to set up enemy hit point scaling. Choose currently. Sure. Add 5%. Add 5%. Yeah, you can see add a party member. It can get very complicated, but it allows you to really customize exactly how difficult you want the game to be at all times, depending on how many party members you have, which is really nice. Scaling mode configuration complete. I don't have any idea what my settings are here because I just kind of clicked through a bunch, but you get the idea. This mod just released and is currently in beta, meaning there may be issues or bugs that the creator would love to know about for future fixes. So if you encounter any errors, go ahead and send them a message and let them know that there are issues, or comment on the mod.io page and just let them know that something is wrong and needs a little bit of an issue. Next up, we have a couple new playable races to show off. First off, we have the Yuan-Ti playable race by Yeehaw44. This mod adds the fabled Yuan-Ti from Volo's Guide to Monsters into Baldur's Gate. Using the half-elf models for visuals, but adding the unique bonuses and abilities that Yuan-Ti are known for. Here you get your base racial speed, dark vision up to 12 meters. Magic resistance has advantage on saving throws against spells and other magical effects. Poison immunity, and you start off with poison spray cantrip. This is really great. It's just really cool to play as a Yuan-Ti. There's a really cool just kind of race to be able to add into the game and play as. Our next playable race mod by Rosprey is the Changeling. This mod adds 2 types of Changeling into the game that includes unique bonuses. We have the Changeling Seelie and the Changeling Unseelie. The Unseelie Changelings adopt new forms for the sake of mischief or malice, and the Changeling Seelies adopt new forms to right wrongs or delight the downtrodden. So you can be either like kind of a good Changeling or a bad Changeling, depending on how you want to play your character. The Changeling, it says here, gets different things like Changeling weapon training. You immensely adaptable form grants you proficiency with the rapier, short sword, and hand crossbow, in addition to light and medium armor. You get Fey ancestry. You have advantage on saving throws against being charmed, and magic can't put you to sleep. You have superior dark vision, can see in the dark up to 24 meters, and you also get shapeshift just as a normal thing. You can do this at pretty much whatever you want. You can turn into any creature, or not any creature, but you can turn into any like playable race, playable character. Next, we have a mod that lets you play as Gandalf the Grey from Lord of the Rings. This mod by Mr. Incognito adds a whole new wardrobe of clothing items that will make you look just like the fabled wizard of Middle-earth, granting you a bunch of whole new abilities and skills at the same time. The main mod is intended to be used from the beginning of the game through to the end of the game, because the gear is upgradable from the point that you leave the Nautiloid until you finish the game, and comes in several different iterations of varying strengths to make you feel like you're progressing and getting stronger. There is an alternate to the mod that allows you to import this into an active save. For instance, right here, it spawned myself into the Traveler's Chest at camp. It is called the Bag of Debugging, and when you open it up, it has all of the Gandalf gear, the torn gray robes, torn gray hat, a gray cape, damaged wooden staff, chipped elven blade, and all the way up to the legendary versions of each of the gears. You can get the crafting components and the elven thread, craft different things, and this enhanced gray hat, and the enhanced wooden staff. Let's go ahead and put some of them on just for fun. And now, as you can see here, my character doesn't have the beard because she's not a bearded character, but she has the outfit. You can look exactly like Gandalf the Grey here. It comes with a bunch of different options. This is the legendary version of all of the equipment. We can see here the enhanced gray hat has Gift of True Sight with clarity and sight. And heart, you understand the hidden motives of people and the essence of the land, +2 to perception, +2 to persuasion, +1 to nature, and menacing, intimidating presence, a transmutation cantrip. You also get, on the cape, you get a +2 to spell save DC, and a +2 to investigation and speak with animals. On the robes, you get advantage on saving throws against spells, really awesome ability. You gain a +2 bonus spell save DC and spell attack rolls, a +2 to armor class, +2 to insight. You get Light of Blessed Realm, which looks like a shield spell, and you get the Animal Friendship spell, which is also really nice to have. You also get really cool ring, the Ring of Fire. Wearer of this very powerful magical artifact is completely immune to fire damage and cannot be frightened, charmed, or dominated. And you get Flame of Inspiration. There's also these 2 weapons, the enhanced wooden staff and the legendary Elven Blade. The Elven Blade has Stormbound Fury, a level 6 transmutation spell. It allows you to dual wield while holding the Elven Blade. And this one is also really cool. It adds a +2 to intelligence and to wisdom up to 24. So you can see here, while wielding this, my intelligence is 21. You get a +3 and Flame of the Sun. There's a ton of really great stuff that's on this gear. It's very powerful, but this is obviously the late game version of Gandalf the Grey's gear. You start off with a lower version, and you can add the more powerful versions over time. Just a really fun way to kind of roleplay through the game as Gandalf the Grey. Next up, we have 9 new, impressive, and fun class mods to go over. Yes, you heard that right. 9. That many. 9. Our first class mod is also a 3-in-1. To start, we have the Batman class mod by mod.io user 1MYN. With these mods, you can turn your character into either Batman or Batgirl, including all the armor and equipment you expect them to have. Classes combine different aspects of the monk, fighter, and rogue classes to help you hide in the shadows, sneak up on your enemies, and punch them in the face. The Batpack portion of the mod includes all of the gear and weapons that you need as a bat person, including the Batarang, grappling hook, and the bat suit here. I had to dye everything dark black myself, but you get the armor and you can make it look however you want. But you can see with the Batman class, we get Flurry of Blows, We also get martial arts dexterous attacks. Attacks with monk weapons and unarmed attacks scale with your dexterity. Martial arts bonus arm strike. You can see you can make an unarmed strike bonus with you can make another unarmed strike as a bonus action, which is really great. This just means it helps you kind of combine that monk. You can feel like Batman just kind of swinging in and punching people, and really fun. For our next mod is kind of similar in theme, but comes with a totally different playstyle. The Thor class by Laridson adds another superhero class into the game. This time, Thor, obviously. This mod includes 3 subclasses with different playstyles that match Thor's combat, including a barbarian-like throwing build, a lightning sorcerer-style subclass, and a tanky warlock fighter. This mod pairs really well with the Mjolnir mod that adds Thor's iconic hammer. Especially the hammer works out really well with the throwing subclass for obvious reasons. Next up, we have the Warlock class from World of Warcraft by mod.io user 2074551. This mod is the latest to add playable classes from World of Warcraft, an insanely popular MMORPG. So this mod includes 2 of the subclasses of the Warlock, being Demonology and Destruction. Demonology is a subclass which focuses on demonic powers to aid them and summoning different demons to be kind of... Demonologists are like Pact of the Chain warlocks, and Destruction warlocks use fire spells to deal massive amounts of damage. You get Incinerate rank 1 and Immolate rank 1 here, and while the Demonology ones get Shadow Bolt. And this is a really interesting class that sounds like a lot of fun to play in Baldur's Gate 3, especially since I mained an Affliction Warlock for a while back in the day. I wish Affliction was here, but unfortunately it's not yet. But regardless, this makes it the 4th, I think, World of Warcraft class available now, being the Death Knight, Demon Knight, Death Knight, Demon Hunter, Shaman, and now the Warlock. So theoretically, you could complete a full party World of Warcraft team in Baldur's Gate 3 and use all different classes. I might have to give that a try, actually. Our next subclass is the Wildheart by Wildsong XXL. This mod is a blend of Sorcerer and Druid playstyles and created by the modder who made the Green World Sorcerer and the Wildling. And they say this attempts to model itself after the Sylvan Sorcerer from Pathfinder. Each of the 3 subclasses for the Wildheart feature a unique animal companion. You get here the Master of Hounds. Master of Hounds has learned the secrets of taming canines, both natural and supernatural. Get the Green Speaker, Dryads and Fae Spirits, gaining special bonds with animals of the wild and plant-based creatures. In the Raven songs, you get a Raven companion, Blessings of the Raven Queen. So this is really cool, and it's very, being the Raven Queen and the Dryads and Fae Spirits and the Master of Hounds, actually pretty lore, ties into the lore of Forgotten Realms, which is really cool. The Wildheart class also features progression up to level 20, and so which makes this a really fun class if you want to go all the way to 20 and kind of have a really fun sort of sorcerer, hunter, druid playstyle. Up next, we have the Wildfire Druid by Sif the Revenant. This subclass is a port from D&D 5th edition, and is a subclass I've been wanting to try for a while. The Circle of the Wildfire Druid is unique in that it uses its wild shape charges to call upon the spirits of wildfires and summon a fiery animal spirit instead of shapeshifting. Here you get Summon Primal Spirit, expend 1 wild shape charge to summon a primal spirit bound to your soul. It appears with a fiery aura, which deals damage to nearby enemies unless they succeed at a dexterity saving throw. So this is a really great way to put some fire damage kind of out there and also have a companion that's also doing damage. And then it's just a really good way to have a unique kind of summon-based fire build. So next up, we have the Cyberpunk Class by Sensei Edvin. This one is really kind of wild, especially within Baldur's Gate 3. It's not very immersive by like any means, but it is really, really unique and fun. The class features 3 subclasses and over 10 custom spells and focuses on upgrading your abilities by installing hardware and implants that enable you to do different things, like learn more spells, gain night vision optics, and deal massive damage to enemies. So you can see here, if we get our operating system, you choose passive feature channeled with the magic of Nameless Patron. You can cast Eldritch Blast, Bless XK2. You gain proficiency in religion and can cast Sacred Flame and Divine Sense. Or Hell, H666, made by a nameless devil. You gain resistance to fire damage and can cast Firebolt. So this is really interesting, a really kind of funky way. You can see night vision optics here. I was talking about the night vision. So with every time that you take on a new thing, you lose. It costs your memory slots, and it gives you this -1 penalties to wisdom saving throws. You can see here. Unlock legs. Your legs are more robust and reinforced, better at running and jumping long distances, but you get a -1 to penalty to wisdom saving throws. You could also just choose no feature for some reason. You could choose danger sense, fast hands. These are all kind of framed in a way that's like you're upgrading your body with cyberpunk or sort of cyberware. So it's a very wacky class that has a very techie feel. But if that's something that you're interested in, then it's pretty cool, honestly. Our next class mod is the Arcane Archer by mod.io user GZKR. This mod adds a new fighter subclass with support up to level 20. The subclass focuses on modifying your arrows with arcane energy to imbue them with more damage of different types, or to create different crowd control effects. At level 9, you can even learn how to shoot an arrow that then does a fireball spell at the end of it on hit, so really cool. You get these two, you start off with 2 passives. Specifically, you get Arcane Shot Arsenal, 2 additional Arcane Shots as a resource to unleash your magical spell effects with some of your arrows, so you can do different effects like Force Arrows, Mind Spike arrows, grasping arrows that do poison damage and slow your enemies down, slowing enemies that also just mostly slow your enemies down, shadow arrows, seeking arrows. There's a whole bunch of different options here that allow you to just kind of imbue your arrows with different magic. Our next mod is the Kineticist class by mod.io user 3173780. This mod is obviously based in part on Avatar: The Last Airbender and focuses each of its subclasses on different types of elements. You can see here you can be the air kineticist, the ether kineticist, the earth kineticist, fire, wood, water, or the void. They have different abilities, like the air kineticist has the kinetic blast air or electric version. You get elemental focus air and enveloping winds. Our earth kineticist has flesh of stone and earth and gets a piercing version, slashing version, and a bludgeoning version. The fire one gets a fire version of kinetic blast. The ether one gets the force version. Wood, it gets a slashing version, a radiant one. So there's a bunch of different different kind of ways to play this sort of elementalist class. And our last class is kind of cop-out, kind of not. Console users have been pretty light on mod availability lately, compared to PC at least. So when new mods hit the platform, it's a pretty big deal. This mod isn't new by any means, but it did just release for console. The Arcane Vanguard by Sathos is a really fun class with 4 unique subclasses. The mod is compatible with Mistress spells and features Gish-style gameplay, both attacking and casting spells. The class is highly detailed and one of the more thorough mods available, and also a great addition to have on console. You can see here there's the Judgment Vanguard, Sentinel Vanguard, Arcane Vanguard, and the Vanguard. They all have different roles, different abilities, and fighting styles. You can war magic and things like that, arcane transposition, use elements, available on Mac and console. So that's a really great one. But that just about does it for this week's Best New Mods. What did you think of these ones? There are a ton of new classes to mess around with, obviously. I don't know which one I want to do first. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and comment down below which mods you want to see next. But I will see y'all in the next video. Thanks, and have a great day. Bye!